And I'll tell you this, hey, internet, I'm sick and tired. And when my voice gets deep, you know I'm dead serious.
Yes.
I'm sick and tired of you guys suggesting I'm old.
Rings.
Rings, tartan ass, and fucking look at the dents and lines in his face. Some of the comments
They're so funny.
are so funny. People are just so ruthless
Rings
about me
is my
being
favorite.
old. This is why my dad shouldn't have a smartphone.
Dude, whenever I post a picture with you, it's just
Oh
like,
my
can you
God.
guys chill a tad on Callie?
I don't
You
even
and your
read,
dad, bro. Sweet pic.
I don't read the comments, but now I read them to see how mean they can be. And it's just, you got a head like an insurance salesman, you fucking asshole. Like, just you watch
Dude,
any
have you-
pro wrestling?
Excuse me?
Sorry, dumb question.
No one does in here. Chin, I gotta be honest. I'm surprised you don't watch pro
Why?
wrestling.
I gotta be
I don't
honest,
know.
I'm surprised.
I just feel like it might be a little bit of your flavor.
Hell no. As a kid, baby, yeah.
Yeah, as
That's
a
it.
kid, I did.
Yeah.
And you grow up and you're like, I'm all set.
It must be a blast to do, although it's physically
You
so
think?
demanding.
I don't think it's a blast.
Kurt Angle told
I
me
find
that
it
he had
in-
more injuries from pro wrestling by far than wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also
Broke his
older
neck.
and like jumping off fucking ladders
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I find it, I respect what they do and I know it's hard. I find it so embarrassing when I watch it. When they like have the wrists all, I'm like, oh, dude, that guy's 40 acting like that.
But the best is the guy who uses his dong when he'll put your hand on his dong and he flips you. You've seen it. What?
In the
Hold
WWE,
on. What? Yeah. He's got, yeah.
does he have dong power or something like that?
Have you not seen this awesome guy? He's the greatest of all time.
No, I don't watch any wrestling.
He's a famous wrestler.
Crotch?
Yeah, he throws you. What's his name?
WWE wrestling
Zack Ryder?
touches cross.
Zack Ryder.
I don't know. Ooh.
Damn, I'm not mad at her.
No, nor should you be.
This is a Q&A. Dude, the WWE Diva girls are hot enough to make me
Yeah, there
watch
he
it.
is. There he is.
Is that
And
him?
he throws dudes. He throws
Look at his
dudes.
face.
Put Zack Schneider throwing dudes with his crotch. This is his move.
I'm sure we should just put, whatever his name is, throwing dudes. Especially if it's Dick is his move, it's going to pop up.
Yeah, he's a stud. And this is real.
Will the fans be able to see
This
any of
is
this shit?
real.
Not really.
No.
This is real, dudes.
Are you sure it's Zack Ryder?
I don't know. I have no,
Yeah,
it's
all just... It's all just malarkey, isn't it? It's just all...
says you, but I think a lot of it's true.
It's so strange.
I don't know what the guy's name is. He's awesome.
Now Cain Velasquez is doing it, enjoying it.
Good for him.
I know
Yeah.
Colby Covington wants to eventually get into it. I think Chael. There's this, a lot of guys.
A lot of money.
Like guys mess with it. I don't. There's not a lot of money. Again, it's like the UFC. Only the top guys are making money. If you talk to any of the
Right.
WWE guys, even the real famous ones, like, dude, until you get to a certain level, you're not making a ton of money.
Actually,
It's just like
I actually
every
know
other
that.
sport.
Yeah, if I thought about it, I know
And
that.
they're on the road 300 days a year. Like you're not Scrooge McDuck rich unless you're The Rock or Batista or like
Right.
a different level. And even The Rock now in his movies has to be Dwayne Johnson because
Yes.
WWE owns the name The Rock.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they get a certain percentage whenever he uses The Rock.
The Rock. What would your name be if you were? I know what mine would be.
Big Brown.
Big Brown. What if you couldn't use Big Brown? I got to get some royalties on that. Got to wet my beak. if
Yeah,
let
you'd
that
have to
happen.
get your beat. You'd be Little Rink.
Little.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
I'd be Little Rink.
Yeah, you're the Rinks. Rinks.
I'm Rink.
Rink.
Rinkies. Wrinkle. Wrinkles.
Well, just wrinkles. But then the crowd yells, Rinks, Rinks.
Wrinkles
Rinks,
and
Rinks."
dents. Wrinkles and dents. Wrinkles and dents.
Nope, just wrinkles.
No. But I feel like I'm also small, so I'd have to have baby in there, or
No. Oh no. You're not a real wrestler. You're like the guy who's like, oh yes, my precious.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
With the Undertaker,
Yeah.
you're the pallbearer. You're my pallbearer.
I am.
Big Brown and Rinks.
I don't like this. I don't.
Yeah, I'll
really-
put you in a suit, whatever. You just there.
I don't like it.
You just yell weird shit from the
Brian,
sidelines.
you fucking suit. Come on. Like in an alternate universe,
Can you
made all the
imagine
wrong.
that?
Brian made
How
all the wrong
disappointing
choices.
would that be?
Made all the wrong choices. Yeah, give me a second, man. Fuck. I can't afford fucking blows, so I'm snorting Adderall.
Dude, can you imagine what a life that is? Like Penn and Teller, which one doesn't talk? Is it Teller? You think that guy hates his fucking life? Like he's just like, oh, dude, I gotta do this again.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, don't talk. He's like, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's your gimmick, right? That's your
All the time.
when you have a gimmick.
That you have to stick with.
Yeah, when you have a routine. Yeah, that's your shtick. They used to call it a
I remember
shtick.
David Spade and I weren't talking for a while. I don't know what happened. I just said a joke about him in Phoenix or whatever. And then, and I swear to God, Adam Sandler wrote it. He didn't get credit for writing it because other people rewrote it or whatever. But he made Benchwarmers and hired the two of us,
Yeah,
so we'd
that's right.
have to work together for 2 months and work it out. And we
such
did.
good-
And we've been friends ever since. That's
awesome.
But again,
So cool.
So, but like, there's just this stupid shit that you go through when you're in your late
Yeah.
30s, whatever. But
It is true. As you get older, you just don't care that much anymore.
yeah, you're just like, what am I worried?
petty
What would
stuff.
that matter? I don't
Yeah.
even remember. And like, but I remember like one time on that movie, there was a guy. It was a guy talking like that, like a fucking thick Boston accent, and went fucking, this guy is fucking guy, And I just walked over and I said, okay. I didn't know he was an actor. I knew he was a comedian probably. But I said, okay, what nice thing did you do to Adam Sandler when he was 19 that he remembered you for and put you on this movie? And he said, let me tell you fucking what. There's a fucking bowling alley that we were fucking working, this young fucking kid, Adam Sandler. And I said, look, pal, you got to fucking, just get your 5 minutes together and make sure that fucking kills and then you fucking get that.
Sounds like Lenny. Was it Lenny Clark? Is that you doing Lenny Clark?
It was some other comedian, but basically like the same accent.
yeah.
And you fucking put that together, and the next thing you know, you get your shit together, and you fucking do that shit. Before you start doing your 20, get your fucking 5, pal.
That's
Anyway,
a great. That's about as good a Southie as I've heard.
So
And you and Adam met on Saturday Night Live.
no, we were comic friends. He was like a young, like 19 or 20-year-old New York comic, and I'd heard of him. And then I got on David Letterman when I was really young, when I really didn't have
And
more
did
than
you,
20
Rob? Did you start in Northern
San Francisco.
Cali? That's
Yeah.
where you started, like
A
at
lot of the
Cobb's
guys,
and
though,
Punchline.
if you don't move out of there early, it's over.
Dude,
you got to
I said that to him today. I said that there are dudes that when I was in New York,
Yeah.
I saw guys hanging around the comedy clubs, and I remember going, "You're gonna be here forever. I gotta get the fuck out of here." And I got the
getting
fuck
outta here.
out of there.
I'm getting out of here because I
did.
see the pit that, it's like, hey, it's like they've got their fans and it's working and it's comfortable. They got a nice place. They can eat at
Well,
good
one of the
restaurants
guys,
one night a week.
one of those lifers looked at me like this, like you're in jail, and I remember he waved. He was waving in the direction of what he thought was L.A., and he goes, You got positive energy. Go to LA. Go to LA.
He's a general.
Get out of here. Go to LA.
Yeah.
I never forgot it.
Like Cobb's and Punchline. Is that where you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just remember, and then all the best guys came through there. And then
Like-
you learn from them. And Jerry Seinfeld's one of the greatest. And he would come by and he would tell us, hey, you guys, you got to take all the swearing out. He says, what? Take the swearing out. And I was going, what? He said, yeah, you take the swearing out. If it's not funny without the swearing, then it's not funny.
Yeah.
So take it out and see if it works. You can't do that on TV. This is like 1984, And then you
very
see
good-
guys Jay Leno would come by, and he was the nicest guy. And I remember there was a manager who I had who was actually a heroin addict at the time. Great guy. He's still
Fantastic.
alive. Thank God he got over it.
Yeah.
But like he said, you go pick him up. You take him. You pick up. Make sure you're there on time. This is before before the internet, before Waze. We had Thomas Guide.
Thomas Guide. Yes.
Thomas Guide, baby. And they'd say you had to know where
Never
you're going.
know.
Luckily, I knew San Francisco. I was like a street rat, so I knew my way around. So he said, just make sure you take him to his radio show. Make sure you take him to the gig. Make sure you're there on the airport.
What was
with
the gig,
sign.
Cobb's?
No. He was at that time. He was doing hey, and he was on Letterman going, hey, what's your beef, Jay? Hey, let me tell you my beef. You don't need to get I'll tell you my beef. And that was his thing. And he started selling out. He went from clubs to theaters. So I was picking him and I drove him around and he said, and finally about halfway through the thing, hey, you want to get them lunch? You don't want to go to Chinese restaurants or anything? I said, I know the best, Mr. Leno. And so I took him to the place that, my dad wouldn't even take me because it was too expensive. But he said, my dad used to go, that place is expensive. Come on, we're going to eat over here. Just as good. You'll see, kid. So anyway, so he said, come on, you want to eat myself? Come on and eat with me. So you a comedian? I said, yes, sir. So how much time you got? I said, I got about maybe 8 minutes. He said, good. I'm glad to hear that. Most comedians ask, how much time you got? I got 2 hours. Who wants to hear 2 hours of comedy material? You either have 20, all you need to be in LA is 20 minutes to become a star. You don't have that, you don't have anything. Just get 5 minutes that kills. If you don't have that, you don't have anything. If you don't have 5 minutes that kills every time, everywhere you go, every time out, then you don't have anything. So I said, just work on your 5 minutes. So that was the greatest advice anybody could
cool
ever
is
told
that?
me.
Yeah.
And I said, thank you. So I said, nobody gave you a roadmap of how to be successful in comedy. So I just worked on the next 6 minutes. I worked on that. And Nick worked on that. And 18 months later, I performed that same bit on the Letterman show. I didn't have much more than that.
keep
And then
carving.
did you move out here, Rob? After that?
After the first, literally the next day, I moved to LA. So it's going to be a really high quality, high level.
Where do you do most of your reps at, Rob?
You know what? Believe it or not, I love working in LA, and it really is. The Comedy Store is the most important comedy club in the world, the one
Hands
right
down.
here.
Yes.
And if they just never had enough money in the old days to ruin it.
Yeah.
You were like, there's like a club. It's like this Columbus. It was like Improv. It was great. It's like kind of a restaurant. And it wasn't that great. I mean, the room didn't look that great, but it was perfect. The energy in there. And it's we fixed it. We got a real club, and it ain't as good.
Yeah.
They ruined. Well, that never happened to the store.
Stays the same.
The store has been
man.
like a dumpy dive, and that's what you need. You need the audience to hide, and it's perfect. So it's a great place if you can get it out of your own head that they're
the
not
greats.
judging you
Yeah.
to try stuff. And like it's interesting, you see the greatest comics in the world to go up there, and it's a little in their head that they're being judged. It's a little bit, right?
Well, you don't
feel
see
that?
a lot of comics do new material there.
Yeah, which is
some of
good.
them do. Rogan, Burr will go up
That's
there.
what you're supposed to
do. That's what you're supposed to do. But a lot of guys, especially if it's like Tuesday night where it's killers, like the other night when it was freaking Jesselnick, Joey Diaz, Theo Vaughn.
Oh, yeah,
for
you're
me to go
intimidated.
before them and do all new material while they're doing hitters,
No, you don't.
it's
No.
tough, man.
Well, the thing is, you can do like the greatest things. When I got, who talked me into doing it? Truthfully, talked me back into doing it was when I was doing Grown Ups, which in 2009, and Chris Rock said, you got to get back up there and do it, man. And I
one
said,
of the
well, you're the
greats.
best at it. And I don't know
Yeah.
how. I'm never going to be as good as you. He said, no. He said, you could be the best at this. You could be. And you just got to do it. I said, I don't know what I talk about. Just talk about what you're talking to me every day.
Life.
Just the way he would approach things,
Yeah.
and what he would talk about, and the way he would come at it from a new angle.
He's
And then-
fearless.
and then-
I've seen him write Full House. I've
Chris
seen
Rock?
him right on stage.
He came up
Fearless.
on stage with me. Like
He's-
I was.
He wasn't afraid that silence.
He's a guy who would do all new shit.
He came up right after the Boston bombing. Okay, I was on stage performing. I wasn't talking about it. And he
Where
came-
at, Rob?
I was at upstate. It was in New York, like Nyack or something like that. There's a nice club
Nyack.
up there.
Yeah,
and all of a
West
sudden, I
Nyack.
see this guy, like because they're always looking, trying to figure out what's happening. You're thinking of the next thing. You're thinking of, okay, did they dig that one? Physically, what am I going to do next? And then all of a sudden, at the corner of my eye, I see somebody's walking on the stage from the left side, and I said, "Who is that? What?" And like, is this guy going to stab me? Is this guy going to attack me? Is this guy going to? Is this the bouncer? Is there a fire? All the stuff that goes through your head when there's somebody walking on the stage who you can't really see. And it was Chris Rock coming on stage. And I just said, "Oh my God!" And the place went crazy. And I just handed him the mic. And he just was right after, and he did that joke about like, the Boston bombing. Where they put the bomb at the end, at the finish line. Can you imagine? And I go, where's he going with this? He said, they imagine that you run 26 miles and then somebody yells, "Run!" And I went like, oh my God.
It's a great
He's
joke.
a genius.
That's hilarious.
And this guy, and then he did like
Yeah.
another 10 minutes, and like the thing about it, and I remember because at the same time, because I got back into doing this in social media. So like, the shit that like you can get from whatever, if you make a mistake of a tweet, of a joke, whatever. And I just remember calling him because he was got so much shit off doing this one routine on Saturday Night Live. And I called him and I said, dude, like, that was a hilarious joke. And I said, I can't believe that anybody would have a problem with that. And he just said, fuck him.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Like, I just like, why are you even looking at that shit? And it's the same thing like Louis
Bill
CK.
Burr said that to me the other
So
day.
why are you
He
even
goes-
looking at that?
he goes,
Yeah,
"Well, you
Louis
can say
CK.
anything you want. It's 8 people on Twitter. Fuck them."
Yeah.
When you see my back ripple and I pull myself up like a chimp 30 times bang, while talking to you, why wouldn't I give that to you as
It's a gift.
inspiration?
It's a gift, really.
It's a gift.